They're not hygienic, they're not good for your skin, and they don't do a good job cleaning your face. There's no point. That was my preachy moment on face wipes. What's up, guys? Welcome back. It is really rainy here in Austin right now. You can probably hear it a little bit. It's adding a little bit of, I don't know, moody ambiance, but at the same time it makes it look like it is nighttime in this room, so hopefully it's not too jarring. We'll see what I can do in post. But guys, today is a monthly favorites. In fact, it's a double monthly favorites because I did not do a favorites at the end of February, and that's just because I like to pack favorites videos with actual favorites. And when I got done with February, I looked at my list on my phone. I kind of keep a running list of favorites, and I was like, there's really nothing here worth sharing yet. And also, I just knew a lot of things were going to be kind of coming into my life in March, just more makeup products, more skincare products, and things like that. So I have all of the above in front of me to share with you guys. I have skincare, I have makeup, I have all kinds of media that I have been consuming lately to try and just, stay sane, some to kind of keep in touch with friends and family and things like that. So I'm gonna be going over all of those things, sharing those with you guys today. But before we jump in, I wanted to announce today's sponsor. Yes, today's video is sponsored by FAVES Organic, and I have all three of their gorgeous Diamond Glow Melted highlighters here. I'm going to share those with you guys a little bit later on in the video, and stay tuned till the end because we are going to be doing a giveaway. One lucky winner is going to get all three of these, so thank you to FAVES for sponsoring this video, and let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about today is something very exciting. That is 2 new releases from Aether Beauty. You guys, I said I was going to save this. I did, but I just can't not talk about it. I got to be the sort of official announcer of this coming out, and it was on my Instagram. So this comes out 4/20, and I know that that's irritating that it's, a little while away at this point, but it's within the month. And so I wanted to go ahead and show you guys officially. This is the new Joshua Tree palette that is all in these gorgeous desert tones, and it's all matte. So this comes out 4/20. I'm wearing a little bit of it on my eyes today. I have kind of the browns and this like coral tone right here, and I'm also using a little bit of like shinier stuff from her other palettes as well. And then this is the blush palette, which comes out or should come out like right around now when this video is coming up. So this is the Rose Quartz version of the cheek palette, and I am so pleased with this. It's very pretty. So you have a super matte, which is like this kind of pop of like bright pink. You have a sort of satin finish that is kind of a rosy shade called Compassion. And then you have this one, which is called Heart, I believe. And that is the highlight. So swatch those for you here. They are just perfect for kind of pale to medium skin tones that like, a good kind of sweet pink color story. But she is also releasing alongside this a ruby colorway for deeper skin tones. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I just love that Tyla keeps in mind the various skin tones and people and looks that are going to want to use her palettes. And then later in the summer, there will be one more that's kind of a peachier colorway, but I just love where this brand is going. Preview, I'm gonna probably do a brands I stan about Aether just because it's a brand that I think needs more attention, but these new releases are so beautiful. 4/1, 4/20. I think that they're on pre-sale right now, not sure. You can get 20% off with my link down below. You don't have to do that. She's running some sales here and there right now, but yeah, definitely check them out if you're interested. Okay, another thing that I want to mention really quickly, makeup wise, this was just one of the biggest and kind of most unexpected wins of my month. This month was weird, guys. It kind of goes without saying at this point. I don't think anyone is a stranger to this being the topic of conversation on YouTube right now. We're all just kind of like back into our own groove after having to do a major adjustment of like, how do I talk about this? I feel like we went through all of that, but then I also tried to do makeup videos of things that I had been planning to begin with, even if it felt kind of weird. Anyway, one of the big winners that came out of that was out of my Arrive Beauty wear test. They only have 2 products. They have a skin tint and they have this bronzer right here, and it comes in 2 shades, a light medium and then a medium deep, I believe. This is my new favorite bronzer. I'm wearing it right now. I love it so much. The first ingredient in this, I believe, is mica, and it goes on the skin so beautifully, just so smoothly that it kind of solved my dichotomy or my, perceived need for always having a shimmer bronzer and a matte bronzer. I was always like, I need both because I want to have that matte effect to really achieve the depth, but I want a shimmer to be able to kind of blend the two. This meets in the middle and it really is like a one-stop bronzer for me. Now, I have been interviewing some new sunscreens. I talked to you guys in my empties video about how the Kopari coconut sunscreen, the Sundays sunscreen, by the time I finished it, I was like, this is not going to work for summertime. It just melts off of my face. I will have an updated skincare routine video for you guys pretty soon. I know we haven't done one in a while, but I kind of wanted to get my head around some stuff that I've been adjusting to recently, because you can see I'm kind of breaking out. It's just been kind of a mess. But anyway, I interviewed two new ones this month, one that was sent to me and one that I bought. So the one that was sent to me, and it's kind of a fail. No, it's a fail. It's for sure a fail. This is from the brand Clean Beauty, C-L-E-E-N Beauty, and I did one of those like deep eye rolls when I first heard of this brand. They are sold at Walmart, which is like really cool. I really think that it's great that there are clean beauty brands that are making themselves accessible at places that are not, super snobby and only online and super indie brands and things like that and like crazy expensive. I am all in on that. And I actually messaged Hiram as soon as I saw this because I was like, really? We're gonna put clean with 2 E's and call it a brand. But he did a review, a dedicated video on one of his like the truth about, each skincare brand videos. And he said that he really liked it from an ingredient standpoint. And this was actually his favorite product from an ingredient standpoint. I'm not sure that he actually tried them. I don't know. But usually he just does an analysis of the actual ingredients lists. The issue here for me with the Clean Beauty Mineral SPF 30 Face Moisturizer is that it is so greasy. It's so greasy. But it is paraben-free, oxybenzone-free, avobenzone-free, and octinoxate-free. So they're taking a hard stance on chemical sunscreens here. Obviously, I'm a big mineral sunscreen fan, but this was just so greasy for me. And I have a couple other products from Clean, actually, that I want to talk about real quick. So actually, their PR company reached out to me and they were like, can we send you a package of their brand's products? And I didn't know what products they were gonna send. And so these are the ones that they sent. They sent the sunscreen, which I think is gonna be okay for someone who has really dry skin, but it just wasn't. It was just way too greasy for me, and it's like screwed up my makeup. It started to kind of break me out. It just like wasn't good. The next thing was the avocado hemp butter sleep mask. This is a very interesting product. It smells dreamy. It's just this kind of beautiful avocado green. But as far as a sleep mask goes, it dries down and it kind of gets stiff on your face. I need something that's going to stay flexible on me, and I didn't find that it really was nourishing enough that I wanted to wear it that long. I feel like it kind of does its job in a matter of about 20 minutes and then it sort of is done and then it just feels weird on your skin. So I don't know, this just kind of wasn't for me. And then I just want to get preachy here for a second. So this is the Clean Beauty Coconut Water Hibiscus Face Wipes. I'm so over this. I would never buy this. I don't buy one-use products, and they claim, and they put it in bold lettering here, hydrating biodegradable facial cleansing wipes for all skin types. It doesn't matter if it's biodegradable. I mean, unless it's like compostable, and I'm telling you, it's gonna biodegrade in like a week in my compost, that's one thing. But just because something's biodegradable doesn't necessarily mean it's going to biodegrade in any of our lifetime. The reason that these things keep getting made is because people keep buying them. Stop buying them and they'll stop making them. We don't need face wipes. They're not hygienic, they're not good for your skin, and they don't do a good job cleaning your face. There's no point. That was my preachy moment on face wipes. So this is the sunscreen that has been working for me. So I finally decided to go on Yes Style and try and find a Korean sunscreen because I am just so tired of being let down by these really heavy mineral sunscreens that are really frustrating my skin. So I found one that, has the ingredients that I prefer in it, so it doesn't have octinoxate in it or anything like that. It is the Centella Green Level Unscented Sun SPF 50 plus PA++++ from Purito. I have to say, I like that name. Reminds me of Purito, which reminds me of my Purr Monster. That's completely beside the point, but this is a really lovely, super duper lightweight sunscreen. I have top coat on my hand from doing my nails, and it looks really creepy, and I can't get it off, so ignore that. But this goes totally just skin texture, not oily, not matte, just dries down really nicely and clear. So if there's something in this that you know of that I should be aware of, definitely let me know. But so far, not only has my skin really enjoyed it as far as just, you know, a moisturizing product to have on my skin, but also I found that it's really, really helped with pigmentation, like, and not getting more pigmented, not getting more sun on my face. But I think that this is one that if you have been sick of me talking about all of these really beautiful, oily, bouncy sunscreens that you're like, my skin can't do that, this is gonna be better for more normal skin types. Okay, before we move into more skincare, I want to talk about these highlighters. So, if you've been watching my channel for a long time, Venix Organic is not an unfamiliar name to you. The brand has been taking a very, very measured approach to how they release products. And when I first heard of them, they actually sent me a bunch of their lashes. They used to make false lashes. I think that they've backed off of that from now, kind of rebranded a little bit, and this is their current offering. They're working on a bunch of stuff. I have talked to them at length about this, but they want to make sure that the things that they put out are absolutely perfect, and so they're just taking it really slowly. I firmly believe in that approach with the brand, and every other creator I have seen or talked to who has either bought or received this from the company is very, very impressed with it. So I have the shades First Christmas, Wedding Ring, and K Color. I've had these two before, and then they sent me First Christmas recently. So First Christmas is a gorgeous kind of ballerina pink. K Color is a very finely milled gold, but it's more of a champagne gold. And then Wedding Ring is going to be slightly more of like a bronzy, kind of shifts copper gold. So you've got a lot of options for different skin tones. I can wear all of them, but I think that like Wedding Ring would be really, really beautiful on deep skin tones. And this pale pink is what I have on my face right now, First Christmas. I put it on my cheeks and everything, but also one of the recommendations I got from them was to use it as an under eye primer. Something that I totally underestimate is actually how nice it can be to selectively reflect light underneath your eyes, kind of underneath everything. And it's something that color correctors do already, and this is also beautifully like coconut oil based, and so it's very nourishing for your under eyes as kind of a primer before your concealer and stuff. So I've used this as an eyeshadow primer, it works really well for that. I've used it as an under eye primer, works really well for that. But one of the coolest things, and I actually saw this on, I don't know, one of my fellow clean beauty creators Instagram, she said, when I swatched this, I was surprised because it goes to a powder finish. So it starts off as a cream and it is oil based, but when you put it on your face, like I can kind of dab this on my face and then I can rub it. Not hard, obviously, not so hard that I'm going to disturb something, but you can actually rub that because it goes to a really beautiful finely milled powder. And I would say that this is very, very similar to like the Aether highlighters or the Fenty highlighters, the specific one, First Christmas. It gives me that like wet look, whereas the other two, K Color and Wedding Ring, are going to give you more of like a milky highlight, I would say. So each of these is $35, and you also get 20% off with my code down below. I've been using these a lot, kind of on camera and off camera. They work so beautifully on all makeup finishes. You can wear them on bare skin, you can wear them on a cream face of makeup, or you can wear them like I did today on top of powder, or like I said, underneath other things to kind of help with color correction. But I found them to just be really, really beautiful, and the ingredients are all natural, 100% natural, all organic. They really, really went the extra mile on these. But one of the coolest things about them is kind of their sustainability and impact promises. I'm going to read these to you because I'm not going to get it right from memory. So, the devil lives in the form of plastic, 120 billion units of which are produced worldwide annually. The beauty industry is one of the biggest culprits, whereby each person throws an average of 16 plastic cosmetic packages away over the space of 1 year. All of this ends up in a waste landfill, polluting the earth. Plastic is the polar opposite of biodegradable, with an average lifespan of 1,000 years. That's plenty of time to pollute the ocean, kill wildlife, poison the natural food chain, compromise human health. It's a vicious cycle that needs to end. By developing products and packaging that are reusable, recyclable, and biodegradable, we can reduce waste and create a better world for future generations. So this is a company that like does the exact opposite of what I always complain about. I always say, like, why bring something to market when all you have are promises on sustainability? So instead of coming to market and being like, here's some plastic, but we're gonna do better in the future. Venix is doing everything right off the bat, and I really appreciate that. So impact, we all need to face reality. Poor nutrition is the culprit behind nearly half of deaths in children under the age of 5. This kills over 3 million kids annually. In a world where 1 in every 6 children is underweight, something has to be done. For just $1 daily, you can feed 1 child a day in a developing country. That's why we make a donation per product sold to potentially prevent death through the power of nutrition. Our goal is to help 1 million kids by 2020. By investing in our products, you can make an impact on the world. So that is the promise that they have, is just donating to help kind of, feed kids, which is awesome. I love a brand with a cause. It's definitely not something that is required or asked of emerging brands, and the fact that this is their introduction of their brand and they're already choosing to do that is so cool. So yeah, I feel like it's kind of my responsibility to share brands with you guys that I think are doing the right things whenever possible. So stay tuned to the end. I will tell you guys how to enter the giveaway, but thank you to Venix for sponsoring this video. Okay, let's jump into a few more skincare products that I have here. So this is the first one that I'm really excited to share with you guys. So this is the new Good Molecules Pineapple Exfoliating Powder. Yeah. Yes. So as far as slow cell turnover or pigmentation or just having kind of clogged congestion is what Valeria calls it. I love that so much. Valeria has the channel Conscious Bee. I love her channel. I just love her. She's just so stinking cute. Anyway, she always talks about congestion. And I was like, that's exactly what the word is. It's not like a zit, it's not a blackhead, it's just like you notice texture and it's congestion. That's what it is. This helps with congestion. So this is a powder and it comes like this. And I've actually had enzyme powders that went to a liquid. You added water to. In the past, I used one from Amore Pacific a long time ago and I liked it a lot. This one is unscented. Obviously, Good Molecules doesn't fragrance any of their products. Another brand I stan, let's be real. I love Good Molecules, I really do, and I love that they're putting everything at such an accessible price point. So it says, dispense a teaspoon of powder into palms, mix with a few drops of water to form a creamy foam, use more water for gentler exfoliation, massage into skin with circular motions, rinse thoroughly. Use up to 4 times a week. This is very gentle. So one of the things, especially like if you watch Hiram's channel, he's very anti like a coffee scrub, and he's on the fence even about like a sugar scrub, because a lot of times the particles, even if they, well, first of all, a coffee particle is really jagged and doesn't break down in water. It's not water soluble, and so you're just scratching the heck out of your skin. It's really bad. Even like a salt scrub or a sugar scrub is water soluble, but there are really kind of unpredictable crystal sizes and shapes, and as they're breaking down, you still don't really know what that's doing to your skin. This is like these tiny, like micro dissolving, foaming situations. There's no actual scratchiness. It is just a water activated enzyme that is gently chemically exfoliating your skin, if that makes sense. So it's similar technology to the Thrive Bright Balance face wash, except I do feel like this just has a little bit more of like a milky gentleness to it. I just really like it. And you can use it, like it said, up to 4 times a week. I've used it 2 days in a row, absolutely no irritation whatsoever. And it just makes my skin feel really refreshed and nice and smooth, but not tight and not overly dry or anything like that. I'm really pleased with this. And I just love, I love what Good Molecules is doing. They just keep doing the right stuff. If you didn't see it in my empties video, I also am obsessed with their body bar. I was thinking I was going to be obsessed with their body bar, and I am. It's like a salicylic acid soap-free body bar, and it has really helped with my acne situation on my back. So yeah, that one's awesome too. So next, this was actually sent to me by Magic Links. Magic Links is my main affiliate aggregator. If you see my links down below, they were just the first ones to accept me. R-Style, like, rejected me 3 times in a row and told me I could never apply again, and I was like, okay. Magic Links is super awesome, and they do feel like kind of a small family. Like, they know who I am, and they'll email me and be like, hey Kaki, there is a cool new clean skincare brand we thought you'd be interested in. Here's a code that you can get like 1 free product or something, which I love. So this is the brand One Kind, and this is the Porefectionist Refining Facial Pink Clay AHA and BHA. This is what I would compare to a much less expensive version of the OC mask, okay? Granted, it doesn't have every single, like obviously the exact same ingredients in it, and it does have barley seed extract in it. So I don't have a topical gluten allergy, but I know a lot of people do. Heads up if you have a topical gluten allergy. But it's got willow bark extract, which has become an ingredient in skincare recently that I have just kind of perked up to because it's like a naturally derived salicylic acid. And so it does kind of help with acne and things like that. It's also got lactic acid in it, which is one of the most gentle like AHA, BHAs. And the second ingredient is kaolin pink clay. This is just really good if you're breaking out. And that's why I use the OC mask too. There are a lot of clay masks out there. This one obviously doesn't have red algae in it. And I also, sidebar, I want to try all the OC algae masks. They have a flash black algae mask that you're only supposed to use in like emergencies, and I was like, I want that. I don't know why, it just sounds amazing to me. But I think this is only like $24 and you get 2.5 fluid ounces of it, and you can use it pretty often. You know, put it in the fridge, feels fantastic. And I would say that if maybe you had your eye on that OC mask that I talk about nonstop, you might try this one instead. There are, like I said, there are a lot of pink clay masks out there, but I really like this one. And if you want to get even closer, I don't know, you could play kitchen witch here. If you wanted to get even closer to the OC mask, you might put like a couple of drops of some really high quality tea tree oil in the mask when you use it. Yeah. Okay, another skincare love lately. This has just been a big skincare month for me. You guys, I have always been on the fence. I'm like, does CBD do anything topically? Because I used to take it orally, and I will say, like, when I first used it, I'm not sure if it was a placebo effect or not, but I really felt like it helped my kind of like autonomic nervous system just chill the heck out. But it kind of didn't show enough results that I felt like it was worth paying the crazy price for that stuff. But I saw that Paula's Choice put out a CBD skin transformative treatment milk. They also put out like a retinol. I'm not using retinols right now for fertility reasons, but this one doesn't have any of that in it. So it was part of a 2-part kind of release. This was the one that I felt like comfortable using, I guess. So it is 150 milligrams of CBD, 100% pure cannabidiol. Oh no, I'm pretty good at words, but that one's throwing me. 98% natural, soothes stressed, reactive skin, and improves skin's response to aging factors. I trust Paula's Choice. Paula Bagown, I think that's how you say her name, is not going to put out a product where she's like, might work. Like, that girl has staked her reputation on the potency of her ingredients. Some of her products are scary potent. Like, she does not back away from, what is it? Is it hydroquinone? Yeah, she has like really like, they'll just be like a use at your own risk warning on it. They're like, it works, but like, don't get crazy, okay? You can hurt yourself. Really, really high quality, high potency skincare products. And so when she put something with CBD out, I was like, all right, Paula, I will bite. You know, if you believe in it, I will believe in it. And so started using this, you guys. Wow, it is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And it's just kind of this lovely, lifting, hydrating, anti-aging milk. That's basically what it is. Like, it comes in one of these little dropper guys, and it's very thin. And I do like a full Instagram. I go, nee, 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 and I kind of like drip it right on my face. Okay, Kak, you're running out of room. But I mean, it's just like not even hardly worth swatching. But I mean, it doesn't do anything heavy or oily or anything on your face. It is very much a potent hydration product for people who already have kind of acne prone skin, I would say, that you don't want to overload your skin with oil. So yeah, water, glycerin, capryl triglyceride, squalane is the 4th ingredient, and then sunflower seed oil, jojoba seed oil. Then it's got the hemp extract, the cannabis sativa, hemp seed oil, and then it goes into meadow foam, which is lovely, linseed oil. It's got sodium hyaluronate. It's just hard sometimes to find for me, hyaluronic acid products and any kind of hydration product that actually genuinely like deeply hydrates my skin. Usually it's something kind of topical, like Ingrid Nilsson talks about, a hydration or a moisture cocoon. You just kind of lay something on that feels really, really heavy and emollient and hope that your skin is like at least gleaning some of those benefits if you leave it on overnight or something, like the brightening mask from Thrive. I know that that's doing something because I wake up to better skin, but a lot of times we're just sort of like laying things on and hoping for the best. This is something where I get instant gratification. I put it on, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so thin and it soaks right in and my skin just feels bouncy and happier and genuinely moisturized without something sitting on top of my skin. So yeah, I'm real pleased with this. She is constantly running some kind of discount or sale. I think I got this for like 20% off right when they released it, but you know, keep an eye out for something like that. But I wanted to give this my vote of approval. You can already see it's like used down to here. My vote of approval, my stamp of approval, in case you were curious about it too, because I know that there are people out there who for various reasons are looking for sort of gentler or alternative anti-aging products that aren't just going to like peel the daylights out of their face or make them super, super sun sensitive. So they do say that if you wear this in the daytime to use a sunscreen. She's a big fan of sunscreen anyway. Everyone should be a big fan of sunscreen anyway, but it does definitely have like a little bit of like an active ingredient in it that's going to make you a little bit more sun sensitive, so be careful there, but definitely gentler than a ton of other anti-aging products. Oh, I want to talk about this real quick because it was something that I mentioned, but I didn't have it like in front of me when I talked about it, and I felt really stupid about it. So this is Bite's new primer. It is the Line and Define Lip Primer. And if you're like, what is a lip primer, Khaki? It is an extremely matte, almost to the point of being tacky, minty kind of plumping lip primer. And today I am wearing it because, okay, first of all, you guys know I have trouble with lip products to begin with. Like any kind of colored lip product is a challenge for me. And so anything that can help me color in the lines, I'm all for. So I put this on first, and it does actually have a really nice mintiness to it that plumps your lips naturally. But you guys might remember in that video where I did the zero waste whole get ready with me, it was very cool toned. And when I put this on, which is the Lila Bee Be Elegant Lovingly Lip Tinted Lip Oil, it looked orange on my face because I just didn't have things that matched it. I'm wearing it today and it looks perfectly at home, and it's a little bit of a difficult product to put on, I'm gonna be honest. It comes on this wacky dough foot that holds almost no product, and so it like drags on your lips really badly, and so I just have to dab it on and then move it around, but it is a really beautiful product if you can get it to stay put, and this actually cooperated with this really, really well. So if you have those lip products, especially like higher pigmented glosses and lip oils and things like that, that you're like, I really love this, it's super beautiful, but I feel like as soon as I look away, it's going to just like drag all over one side of my face. I know how that feels. This is really, really awesome. I mean, even some of the more emollient lipsticks, you know, Kosas make such beautiful lipsticks. They're so nourishing. And a lot of the clean beauty lipsticks are super, super nourishing, but they kind of melt at body temperature and then they don't ever settle back down. And it's just like, no touchy, no touchy. You know, just make sure that you're really careful. And I don't always want to be careful about my lip colors. And so to have something that sort of sets down any color on top of it in a much more manageable, wearable way, I don't feel like this is going anywhere. And I really, really appreciate that about it. And I love an innovative product. This is just not something that I've seen before. And so I just needed to share it with you guys. Okay, I want to talk about a brand that sent me some stuff that is very, very cool. Hang on. This is dirty, satin grass, don't mind me. So I wore this yesterday, but I've also worn it on my Instagram. I'll stick a couple of pictures in of me actually wearing this because I'm definitely not doing it justice just holding it up, because I wore this all day yesterday and it needs to be washed. I literally pulled it out of the laundry because I just love it so much. But this is a workout set from a brand called Italic. Italic is a brand that's not a brand. They're a company that makes goods. They have them manufactured by the manufacturers who create high-end leather goods for very expensive brands, for example, or the company who manufactures Aloe Yoga. But it's all labelless, it's all brandless, so it's like brandless. They have men's and women's clothing. I'm doing a terrible job of talking right now. And they also have like home stuff, pots, pans, what have you. And I was contacted by the brand and they were like, hey, you know, can we send you some stuff? And I scrolled through their website and a lot of it was winter stuff. And I was like, I live in Austin, Texas. I am in love with your cashmere sweaters. I am in love with your puffer jackets. I am in love with like your beautiful scarves and hats and everything. But like we are way past that time of the year right now, unfortunately. So this workout set was $35 for the top, $50 for the leggings, okay? And it is beautiful. It is super, super heavy duty. It's very comfortable, very flattering. Not going to show, light colored things, if the fabric is not thick enough, are gonna like make you look like you got cellulite you don't have. This doesn't do that because it has enough thickness to the fabric that it really holds you in. I love the colors. They have like a red, they have this color, they've got like a black, a mauve, I don't know, a couple other things, but that was one of the things that I found to be really, really cool was just that, yes, this is an affordable price for this. I felt like that was just a really, really good price point for what you get. But wait, there's more. So, the saga of trying to find a DOP kit for my husband. When I say that I've been looking for a DOP kit since we met for him, like as a gift, every time a holiday rolls around where it's like a gift-giving holiday, his birthday, our anniversary, Christmas, whatever, I think, I ace in the hole. Like, I'll just find him a really good DOP kit because his DOP kit sucks. I swear, guys, I've searched high and low, every price point. There were no really beautiful, simple, manly, I guess, I don't know, not manly, but like men's, obviously men's DOP kits that weren't either $1 million or covered in giga, just like ugly, you know? And so the girl who reached out to me was like, can we interest you in this DOP kit? And I was like, tell me more about your DOP kit. This is this gorgeous leather DOP kit, you guys. Wow, 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 wow. So they sent this and it was right at my husband's birthday. I was like, you have amazing timing. And so when they sent me this, I was just like, hey, Mike, I got you a present. And he was so pumped. And I'm going to show you why, okay? And that is because this is his old DOP kit. Anybody else living with a man who's still using his DOP kit from college? This thing is just vile. It's disgusting. The inside is worse. I'm gonna get demonetized. This is just really nasty. I mean, we've traveled. Okay, so this is, it's, you know what I mean? It's kind of gross, but also it's my husband's DOP kit. ClassicCoconutBomb.com in there. I'm not lying, you guys. We are both completely addicted and he steals them from me all the time. So we obviously haven't been doing any traveling, so he hasn't actually packed the new DOP kit yet because no one's traveling anywhere right now. This thing, it smells like college cologne. It just needed to go. And I'm just so happy to have finally found him a DOP kit that I could be proud to give him and that he could be actually proud to travel with. So yes, it is this gorgeous, very, very soft leather and has, you know, some nice little compartments in here, a few little pockets, very well made, and it's just really, really elegant. So it's called the Miles Leather DOP Kit and it's $125, which is a price I would have gladly paid had I known something like this existed years ago. Like that was the price point that I was really looking to invest in something really nice for my husband in this category, and I couldn't find anything that was either not super, super ugly or not $300. So thank you, Italic, for not just offering to send me some really high quality, beautiful stuff that we're getting a lot of use out of, but also for solving an odyssey that I've been on for the better part of 7 years. The last thing before we get into all of the media and whatnot is a brand called Highway Robbery. Okay, and I've been meaning to share this with you guys, but I couldn't share it with you because they hadn't restocked in so long. This is a brand, a company in Austin, Texas. I found them locally at a boutique and they make robes, kimono style robes. They're all one size fits all from dead stock fabrics and they are gorgeous. You guys have seen me. I'll throw some Instagrams on the screen of me wearing this freaking robe. I love this thing so much, and you have to kind of catch them when they do another run because it's out of dead stock fabric. They don't control how much they have, and so they basically find the fabric, they cut and sew all the robes, they sell out, and then they're just gone for a while. And there's just a retailer here in town. It's like a shoe store that's over by one of the juice bars that I like to go to, and I saw it in the window and I was just like, sign me up, give me that. That's the greatest robe I've ever seen. And it really, really is, because I have this like fleece robe from restoration hardware that I've had for ages, and Mike calls it like my sad robe. It's very, very warm, but it's just kind of sad. It just looks like, I don't know, it just looks mopey and like, I'm in a cocoon of sadness. Whereas this one from Highway Robbery looks smart. It looks luxurious. It looks like I live in a spa. You know, there's just something about it that just says, I have my life together. And I do steam it. Make sure and steam it when I get it out of the wash and things like that. But it's a super, super heavyweight, beautiful material. I don't have it in my hands right now because I haven't steamed it. I just washed it and it's really wrinkly. But I know that you guys have seen it on my Instagram recently, and a lot of you guys have been asking. Follow Highway Robbery on Instagram so that you can see when they have their runs of new products, and they're always going to be in new fabrics, so get them while you like them. If you see one that you like, get it then, because it might go away forever. Okay, let's talk about some things I've been absorbing with my eyeballs and with my earballs this month in order to try and maintain some semblance of sanity, fam. The first one is Ugly Delicious. This is a show that had its first season back in like 2016, and Mike and I were none the wiser. It's hosted by David Chang, who started Momofuku. It is a show that focuses on a different kind of food in every episode, and they just came out with a new season. That is why it is topical. It's because they just released a new season, 4 years later, and it is just as good as the first season. Basically, they bring you so much knowledge about the history and the cultural profile of a certain type of food, and you don't realize how much you're learning. Like, I think I talked about it in a previous video kind of in passing, but fried chicken. I, even growing up in the South, had no idea how loaded the entire narrative on fried chicken is from like a cultural and racial standpoint. It is wild, and you should definitely watch that episode. Talking about Middle Eastern food, that generalization, it's so much more complicated than that. Even Indian food, just saying Indian food or like Chinese food or things like that, they break all of these kind of cultures of cuisine down and they explain their history, but you don't realize that they're explaining their history because they're also throwing like graffiti artist David Cho in there, who's like going in there and trying like the grossest fast food you've ever seen. There's one where he actually eats donkey. It's like not something that I would be first in line to try, but I'm telling you, like, if you're a foodie and if you just it's heartwarming. They're really, really heartwarming. And if you want to learn and feel like food in your heart and get inspired to cook and inspired to eat and just fall back in love with food again, I just think it's a really, really good time to release this season because it's just a really good time for all of us to feel re-inspired about anything, especially food, because we're all probably having to cook at home a lot more than we're used to. So yeah, if you watched the first season, definitely check out the second season. If you haven't watched it at all, have fun, man. It is just a show that we are never sad that we sat down and turned on. We're always like, God, that was just great. That was just great. Next is Next in Fashion. I personally am a huge fan, have always been a huge fan of Project Runway. I love fashion, and I just love watching it come together. I think we've talked about this in the past, having to do with like cheer. I love watching people be proficient in their thing. I love watching people who have taken their entire lives and dedicated it to one laser-focused effort, and that is what these people have done. So if you're used to Project Runway, a lot of those people are like fresh out of school. There are various experience levels, but you will end up with people who are very self-taught and things like that. This ain't that. Next in Fashion is hosted by Tan France and Alexa Chung, who are an absolute like chemistry delight together on screen to begin with. But the contestants on the show already have, for the most part, very well established brands of their own, very well established points of view on their own, and they're from all over the world. The people are so creative and their execution is impeccable, and I think that was always the thing that disappointed me the most about Project Runway is like I felt like every single episode had somebody on it who like blew it. Sometimes there were like 3 people who blew it, and it was like they just didn't finish, or their garment just was totally uninspired, or like didn't fit the model or didn't fit the challenge. This isn't that. This is impeccable. This is like truly every single round, every single person brings their A game, and that's what makes it so, so, so cool to watch. So if you're into those kinds of things, or if you're just like me and you like watching people be good at stuff, watch Next in Fashion. It's on Netflix. Both of those are on Netflix. Okay, I have an app and then I have 2 podcasts. So the app is House Party. House Party is a video chat app for you and your friends, or in my case, me and my family. And oh man, I want to share more about this at some point. Like, I don't know. Either way, I'll stick in a screenshot of me and my sister pulling out our Tamagotchis. The weirdest stuff happens on House Party because you can just set your phone up and go about your life. Everyone's stuck at home right now, and so we're all bored out of our gourds. And so my sister and I have been playing Heads Up on House Party. So Heads Up is where you get a prompt, the other person has to guess, you give them clues, and so you can buy these decks, they're like 99 cents a piece, and so we bought like the millennials deck, and then like the 2000s deck, and then like the 90s deck, and we were just guessing all these pop culture references and everything, and it is just an absolute blast. We're like, I really need to go. Okay, one more round. Okay, well, I have to go. Okay, just do one more round, you know, and like, it's just so much fun. And then we got my mom on the other night, and we just started, oh my gosh, the 3 of us together, me, my sister, and my mom on video chat together is just so priceless. My mom was telling us this story about how she was, you know, she's had to start Zoom chatting. My mom has never been in an environment where she has had to video chat with anybody before, have any kind of like remote meeting. So she starts telling us this story about how she's like upstairs in her loft, in her cabin, and she's on this video chat, and my stepdad is 70. He just turned 70. Yeah, he's 70 years old. And we always joke, we say, don't ever interrupt him because he'll just start over. So like, he's one of those old guys who's just like kind of a slow moving locomotive. There's really no hope in stopping him. You just have to be patient. And so he's walking up the stairs holding something in his hand and talking about it or whatever. Well, my mom is on this Zoom call, and I'm pretty sure he like doesn't have a shirt on. He's been outside gardening. You know, they have this whole food garden out there on this giant farm, and so he's just coming up the stairs. My mom is like, oh no. And she's like, Lee. And of course, nothing is reaching him. And he's just standing behind her while all of these people are in audience watching him. And he's just like, Marianne, I don't know what you want to do with this. There's a deal on chicken at Winn-Dixie, and I just thought that maybe, and she's just like, Lee, everyone can see you. But my mom, just the same as the rest of her family, like her side of the family, cannot get through telling a story without busting out laughing. So we're just dying. Me and my sister are like crying laughing because we're guessing how this story is about to go because we know my stepdad so well, but my mom can't get the story out because she's just laughing so hard, and like laughing so hard to the point that you can't even hear her. She's just like shaking, like falling off screen with laughter. And that's just the kind of stuff that we've been doing on House Party. And it just is so life affirming and so brightening to my day because you do kind of get in a groove of being able to kind of, at least in my case, I get in a groove of kind of being able to exist on my own. And I sort of don't realize that like my overall life morale is like very, very slowly deteriorating. And then I check in with my mom and my sister and we just have some really dumb, giggly evening where we talk for like 2 or 3 hours, and everything is better, everything is bright, everything is buoyant. So yeah, I definitely recommend that app. It's free, and you can play games with your family and tell dumb stories, and it's so much fun. So 3 podcasts depending on what you're into. 1, Baron of Botox. My goodness gracious. I never knew that there was so much to know about Dr. Brandt. Dr. Brandt, of course, is a skincare brand, okay? And it was something that we were all very familiar with, and he died not that long ago, and, you know, apparent suicide, I think, and he was the guy who basically made Botox mainstream. All of us women out here kind of casually just maintaining this or just, you know, lifting and that, myself included, we have really him to thank for kind of pulling this out into the open and being like, guys, this really isn't that weird if you know what you're doing. And so he raised the standard of what people should expect from those kinds of treatments to begin with, because he was very much just like a genius of making things really, really subtle, But the irony of it was that as he was kind of trying new materials, like different injectables and different kind of versions of Botox and things like that, he was always testing them on himself. And so he ended up looking really bizarre. And he was one of those guys who, you know, had tons and tons of money, but was kind of lonely and things like that. And this podcast follows him all the way through his life and how all of this kind of came to pass. And it does a really good job of, I think, chronicling his life in a very sympathetic way, but it's also just incredibly fascinating and definitely a story that needed to be told. So I binged that on my last plane flight. A plane flight. Wow. What a thing to think about, right? My goodness. Where was I even coming back from? Palm Springs. Yeah, that feels like a year ago. Okay, the next podcast is the second season of The Dream. I'm sure you guys are sick of hearing about this, so I will make this quick. But the first season was about MLMs, really brought that whole thing into the light. And the second season, which people didn't think that Jane Marie was going to be able to beat that first season, but I think she did. And it's all about the wellness industry. And it is absolutely wild. It busts a lot of myths of the clean beauty industry, but it also digs deep on science and actually talks to experts about the things that we really can expect from some of these like woo-woo treatments that are kind of being sold all over the place. She lives in LA, and so she does go and experience some of these firsthand and blow the lid off of them with science, not live. She doesn't like embarrass people or anything like that, but she goes to actual experts and she's like, you know, this is what this treatment is claiming to do. Is that going to do that? And they're like, that's literally physically impossible. And here's why. That's really, really interesting. But also she has like experiences that she thinks are really important and really wholesome and really effective. And she definitely is really honest about that stuff too. I just found it all to be incredibly fascinating. Just so fascinating, and not in any necessarily way that's going to make you feel like stupid for buying into something, or you might get a little bit angry at Gwyneth Paltrow. She does a really good job actually of like comparing Gwyneth Paltrow with Alex Jones, and you're like, oh no. Anyway, I won't spoil the whole thing. It's very, very good. Definitely listen to it. And the last one is Megan Rinks' podcast. Again, I talk about this all the time, but it's called Don't Blame Me. And if you are one of those people who just likes to laugh, okay? It is a call-in show, but they're pre-recorded calls of basically like 20-somethings for the most part calling in with their relationship questions. Megan Rinks is a YouTuber who's been around for ages on the platform, and she always has a cool creator guest of some kind. And then there's their very, very cool producer as well, who's on every show. And they just answer these questions as honestly as possible. It's called Don't Blame Me because she doesn't necessarily claim her advice is always super useful or necessarily very sensitive, but it will definitely make you laugh, because a lot of people who are calling in are asking like, I don't know, I think that this guy's in love with me, but then also his ex-girlfriend's clothes are in his closet. What does that mean? And they're like, let me tell you what that means, you know? And just the whole thing is just absolutely like, it's pretty inconsequential. I don't think you're gonna take away any actual life lessons from it, but it will absolutely make you laugh. And it will make you feel very open as a female. And those are all of my favorites for the past 2 months. Now, as promised, here is how to enter the giveaway if you want to win. If you want to win all 3 of the Vinix Organic highlighters, there will be a Gleam link down below. I know a lot of you guys are like, Kaki, I have to give my information to that. I would rather do that than have you guys post your information publicly in my comment section. Is that crazy? I don't know. I have no way of contacting people if I just tell you to comment. I guess I could comment back to you and be like, you won. But then if you don't answer back, then I have to, it gets very, very hairy. So I have found, of all the different ways that I've tried, it is the most secure way to do it. So Gleam is my platform of choice. It will basically just ask you for your email address and your Instagram handle essentially, and that's how you'll enter. And then I will draw completely fairly and at random at the end of, let's make this one last like 3 weeks, and then I will contact you, get your information so that Vinix can send you your highlighters. And also, if you are not interested in entering and you just want to try some highlighters, again, I have a discount code down below. I hope that you enjoyed this, guys. This is a really fun ultra packed, probably extremely long favorites. And I want to thank Venix Organic again for sponsoring this video, because I am just very, very fortunate to kind of feel like I'm on the ground floor of what is a very, very cool brand that I'm sure is destined for great things. So I hope that you guys check them out. If you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to keep hanging out with me on this channel, hit the button down below and subscribe. I would love it if you guys did. Maybe hit the notification bell too. Definitely hit the notification bell too. I upload as often as I feel like it. Actually, one of my viewers commented on Instagram. I said, is it weird to upload on a Friday evening? She goes, Fridays don't exist anymore. And I said, you know, my husband has a number that he uses when he doesn't know the answer and he just says twen. Like, what's our day that is not a day that is every day now? And she goes, unday. And I was like, yep. Every day henceforth during this period of time shall now be called unday. So I update on undays. So definitely hit the notification bell so that you don't miss an upload. I'm losing my mind. We all are. Thank you guys so much for watching and for hanging out with me today. I love you so much, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.